My family demanded I postpone my wedding for a decade, so my unemployed brother could get married first. They said it would look bad if the younger sister beat him, so I eloped without telling anyone. My brother Danny is 34 years old and hasn't held a job in 6 years. He lives in my parents' basement, plays video games until 4 a.m., and calls himself an entrepreneur because he once tried selling phone cases online. He made $47 total. My parents think he's going through a rough patch. This rough patch started when he was 28. I'm 29. I have a nursing degree, a stable job, and a fiancé named Ryan who proposed last spring after 4 years together. When I called my parents to share the news, I expected excitement. My mom's first words were, "What about Danny?" I didn't understand. What about him? He's the oldest. He should get married first. It would look bad if you walk down the aisle before your brother even has a girlfriend. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Dad got on the phone. "Your mother's right. Danny's been struggling. If you get married before him, it's like rubbing his failures in his face. Can't you wait a little? Wait how long exactly? Until he gets his life together, finds a nice girl, gets stable. That could take years. Then it takes years. Family comes first." Ryan was sitting next to me during this call. His face said everything. The next few weeks were a nightmare. Every conversation with my parents circled back to Danny. Mom called crying, saying I was being selfish and cruel. Dad said I was always the difficult child, never thinking about anyone but myself. My aunt sent me a 3-page letter about how birth order matters in our culture, and I was disrespecting generations of tradition. Danny himself called me. "You're really going to do this? Make me look like a loser at your wedding while everyone asks why I'm still single? You could try getting a job and meeting someone. That's easy for you to say. You've always had everything handed to you." I worked 2 jobs through college. Danny dropped out junior year because classes were too early. But sure, everything was handed to me. The family meeting happened at my parents' house on a Sunday. My parents, my aunt, my uncle, my grandmother, and Danny, all sitting in the living room. I thought maybe they'd finally come around. Instead, they presented a timeline. "We've discussed it," Dad said. "We think 10 years is reasonable." 10 years? Danny needs time to find himself, get a career going, meet the right person, plan his own wedding, then you can have yours. I looked around the room. Every face was serious. My grandmother nodded like this made perfect sense. "You want me to wait until I'm 39 to marry the man I love so Danny can figure out his life first?" Mom reached over and patted my hand. "It's not that long when you think about it. Ryan will understand if he really loves you. And if he doesn't wait, then he wasn't the right one anyway." I stood up slowly. "I need to think about this." Everyone smiled like they'd won. Dad said, "Take your time. We knew you'd come around." I drove straight to Ryan's apartment. We talked for 3 hours. Then we made a decision. The following Saturday, we drove to the courthouse 2 towns over. Ryan's best friend and my coworker came as witnesses. I wore a white sundress I already owned. He wore his good suit. The judge was kind. The ceremony lasted 12 minutes. We signed the papers, kissed, and walked out as husband and wife. I didn't tell my family for 6 weeks. We went on a small honeymoon, moved into our new apartment together, and started our married life in peace. When I finally called my parents, I kept it simple. "Ryan and I got married last month. I wanted you to know." The silence lasted maybe 10 seconds. Then my mother started screaming, not crying, screaming, words I won't repeat. Dad grabbed the phone. "You went behind our backs after everything we discussed? You asked me to wait 10 years. I said no. You've humiliated this entire family. What are we supposed to tell people? That our daughter snuck off like she was ashamed?" I wasn't ashamed. I just didn't want to wait a decade for Danny to grow up. The fallout was immediate. My grandmother said I was no longer welcome at Sunday dinners. My aunt blocked me on everything. Danny posted online about fake family members who only care about themselves. My parents called Ryan's parents to complain, which was awkward since Ryan's parents had known about the elopement and supported it. 3 months have passed. I've seen my family exactly once, at a cousin's birthday party. My mother looked through me like I was invisible. Danny made a comment about how some people think they're better than everyone else. My father shook Ryan's hand but wouldn't meet my eyes. Here's the thing though, my life is good. Ryan and I come home to each other every night. We cook dinner together, watch movies on weekends, plan our future without asking permission. I'm not waiting for Danny to find himself. I'm not putting my happiness on hold so my parents can save face. Last week, my mom texted me. "Danny met a girl online. They've been talking for 2 weeks. He thinks she might be the one." I didn't respond. Maybe in another 10 years he'll actually marry her, but I won't be waiting around to see. I already have my ring on my finger and my husband beside me. Some decisions don't need family approval. Have you ever been mistaken for the Grim Reaper at a hospice? I was visiting my aunt at Sunset Hospice, wearing my black hoodie because the AC was freezing hood up, carrying a walking stick from my hiking trip. Bad combination. Mr. Henderson saw me first. "It's time," he whispered. "Time for what?" "My time. You're here. I'm visiting my aunt." That's what death would say. Death would announce itself. Modern death might progressive. I'm Jerry. Death named Jerry. Approachable. I like it. I'm not death. Denial. Classic death move. He called the nurse. "Death's here. Mr. Henderson, that's not—" "Look, hood, stick, ominous presence. That's just some guy. Death guy. Regular guy." I pulled my hood down, showed my face. Young. Alive. Not death-like. "Death's younger than expected," Mr. Henderson noted. "I'm 32. Death's age inclusive. Progressive. I'm visiting room 204, starting with room 203. Working up. Methodical death. The rumors spread. Wing to wing. Death was making rounds. Description. Black hood, walking stick, claiming to be Jerry. "He's come for me," Mrs. Patterson announced. "I'm here for Aunt Margaret." Death knows names. Personal touch. Nice. She's my actual aunt. Death has family. Plot twist. I'm not death. Exactly what death would say to avoid panic. Or what not death would say. Nobody's not death in hospice, Jerry. That's dark. That's realistic. We're all dying. But I'm not death. Prove it. How does one prove non-deathness? Kill someone. What? Death doesn't kill. Just collects. If you kill, you're not death. I'm not killing anyone. Then you might be death. That's insane logic. Death logic. Different rules. The staff intervened. Everyone calm down. This is Jerry, not death. That's what death wants you to think. Death doesn't think. Death just is. Maybe modern death thinks evolution. There's no death here. We're in hospice. Death's everywhere. Metaphorical death looks pretty physical to me. "Hi, Jerry Death." "Just Jerry." My aunt heard the commotion. Came out. "Jerry? Why is everyone screaming? They think I'm death." "You do look deathy today." "Aunt Margaret, the hood's ominous, sweetie. It's cold. Death's cold. Checks out." "You too?" "I'm dying, Jerry. Hope's limited." Mr. Henderson approached with a list. "While you're here, I'm not death. But if you were hypothetically, could you take Johnson first?" He snores. "I can't take anyone." "Waiting list?" "There's no list. Democracy death." "I like it. Progressive." "Stop saying progressive." The hospice director arrived. Assess the situation. Me, the hood, the stick, the terrified/excited residents. "You need to leave." "But my aunt." "Visit tomorrow." "Without the costume." "It's not a costume. It's death casual wear." "It's hiking gear." "Hiking to the afterlife?" "No." "Then lose the stick." "It's from REI. Death Shops Retail. Relatable." "I'm leaving." I left. Aunt Margaret texted later. "Everyone's disappointed. They prepared speeches. For death? For their moment. You gave them hope. False hope? Hope nonetheless." Mr. Henderson wrote a poem. About dying? About Jerry Death. Very touching. "I'm not death. Not with that attitude." "What attitude?" "Life attitude. Death's more more chill. How would you know? 60 years of waiting, you get a feel. I visited again. Different clothes, bright yellow, no stick, no hood. Disappointment, Jerry, Mr. Henderson called out. Not Death Jerry, just Jerry. We liked Death Jerry better. Death Jerry wasn't real. Neither is regular Jerry philosophically. I exist, but for how long? Longer than hospice residents. Rude but accurate. I'm sorry, don't be. We're all Jerry eventually. What? Waiting for death or becoming death or meeting death? I'm neither. Yet. Give it time. Lots of time. Lucky Jerry, non-death Jerry, living Jerry. Thank you. Visit again. In the hood. No, the residents have bets. Who death takes first. That's morbid. That's Thursday entertainment, very limited here. They still call me Death Jerry, even in yellow, even without the stick. The legend persists. Death came to Sunset Hospice, claimed to be Jerry, visited room 204, left disappointed, without taking anyone. Progressive death, considerate death. Jerry death, not me, never me, but also me, forever me. In hospice legend, the death who visited and left empty-handed, because death was just Jerry, and Jerry was just visiting his aunt, who's still alive. Unlike Mr. Henderson, who died Tuesday, peacefully, mentioning Jerry death and progressive afterlife policies, and hoping death shops at REI for comfortable crossing gear, like Jerry's. Death Jerry's, not mine, never mine, except always mine, in hospice, where I'm death forever, unfortunately.